It's very common to become confused about narcissism. If you're a narcissist, you don't want to admit any flaws, and if you're not, but in a relationship with someone who is, it's easy to become convinced the problem is with you. To help make it clearer, let's take a look at what narcissism is, how to recognize it in yourself, and what to do if you are not the narcissist in your relationship. What is narcissism? Pathological narcissism is a personality disorder characterized by a pervasive pattern of grandiosity, an inflated sense of self-importance, and a lack of empathy for others. It is a mental health disorder that can be incredibly toxic for those who are in a relationship with or who know someone with narcissistic traits. When we think of narcissism, we often picture someone who is incredibly arrogant and is constantly seeking special treatment or favorable treatment from others. While this is one type of narcissism, there are actually different types of narcissism that manifest in different ways. One type of narcissism is grandiose narcissism. This is the type of narcissism that is characterized by an unrealistic sense of superiority and an inflated feeling of self-importance. People with grandiose narcissism often exhibit arrogant behaviors and have a tendency to put others down. Another type of narcissism is vulnerable narcissism. This is the type of narcissism that is characterized by a pervasive sense of inadequacy and a constant need for validation from others. People with vulnerable narcissism may appear to be shy or introverted, but they are actually incredibly self-centered and often engage in toxic behaviors when they feel threatened. Regardless of the type of narcissism, however, there are certain telltale signs and indicators that can help you identify whether or not you or someone you know is a narcissist. These signs include an inability to handle constructive criticism, a tendency to engage in narcissistic listening, that is, where the listener only hears what they want to hear, and a pattern of grandiosity and a sense of entitlement. What is the difference between narcissism and healthy self-love? It can be difficult to distinguish between healthy self-love and narcissism, as both of them involve a focus on oneself. However, there are some key differences in personality traits to keep in mind. First, acceptance of weakness. First and foremost, healthy self-love involves an acceptance of both strengths and weaknesses. It means recognizing and valuing the unique qualities that make you who you are, while also acknowledging areas for growth and improvement. Narcissism, on the other hand, is characterized by an inflated sense of self-importance and an inability to see any flaws or shortcomings. Narcissistic people simply can't accept that they have any flaws, since that would jeopardize their fragile self-esteem. Second, relationship connections. Another important distinction is in the way each approach relationships. Healthy self-love allows for the development of strong, meaningful connections with others. It involves recognizing the value and worth of those around you and treating them with kindness and respect. Narcissism, on the other hand, is marked by a lack of empathy and a tendency to view others as simply a means to an end. And third, personality sustainability. One way to think about it is that healthy self-love is sustainable, while narcissism is not. But it often masks a deep-rooted sense of insecurity and fear of being exposed as a fraud. This can lead to a constant need for external validation, which ultimately becomes exhausting and unfulfilling. In contrast, healthy self-love is internally driven and sustainable. It provides a sense of security and fulfillment that doesn't rely on others' opinions or approval. It also allows for genuine engagement with the world around you, as you are not solely focused on yourself and your own needs. Ultimately, the difference between healthy self-love and narcissism comes down to a matter of perspective. While both involve a focus on oneself, Healthy self-love is about acceptance and growth, while narcissism is about maintaining a false sense of superiority. By recognizing these distinctions, we can strive to cultivate a healthier, more sustainable approach to self-love and relationships. How can you recognize pathological narcissism in yourself? Narcissism can affect how you relate to yourself and others, and can cause problems in various areas of your life, such as work, relationships, and mental health. Recognizing narcissism in yourself can be challenging, as you may have a distorted view of your own behavior and motives. However, there are some signs and symptoms that can help you identify if you have narcissistic tendencies. Here are some questions to ask yourself to assess your level of narcissism. How often do you exaggerate your achievements or talents, or lie about them to impress others? Do you feel entitled to special treatment or privileges and get angry or resentful when you don't get them? Do you have unrealistic expectations of yourself and others and criticize or blame them when they don't meet your standards? Do you have difficulty accepting feedback or criticism and react defensively or aggressively when challenged? Do you have a sense of superiority or arrogance and look down on people who are different from you or who disagree with you? Do you have trouble empathizing with other people's feelings or perspectives and tend to dismiss or invalidate them? Do you have a need for constant attention and admiration and seek out compliments or validation from others? Do you have difficulty forming or maintaining close relationships and tend to exploit or manipulate others for your own benefit? Do you have a lack of self-awareness or insight into your own behavior and emotions and tend to rationalize or justify them? Do you have a fear of vulnerability or intimacy and avoid showing your true self to others? If you answered yes to most or all of these questions, you may have narcissistic traits that are affecting your well-being and functioning. What should you do if you determine you're not the narcissist? Being in a relationship with a narcissist can be challenging, exhausting, and even damaging to your mental and emotional health. If you determine that you are in a relationship with a narcissist, here are some steps you can take to protect yourself and decide what to do next. Number 1, educate yourself about narcissism. Learning more about the signs, causes, and effects of narcissism can help you understand why your partner behaves the way they do and how it affects you. You can read books, articles, or blogs on narcissism, or consult a mental health professional who specializes in this area. Number 2, set boundaries and stick to them. Narcissists often try to manipulate, control, or exploit their partners by violating their boundaries and making unreasonable demands. You have the right to say no, to express your needs and feelings, and to expect respect and reciprocity from your partner. Decide what you are willing to tolerate and what you are not, and communicate your boundaries clearly and firmly. Do not let your partner guilt trip, gaslight, or intimidate you into changing your mind or giving in. Number 3, seek support from others. Being in a relationship with a narcissist can make you feel isolated, lonely, or ashamed. You may also experience anxiety, depression, low self-esteem, or self-doubt as a result of your partner's constant criticism, blame, or neglect. It is important to have people who can support you emotionally and practically, such as friends, family members, or trusted professionals. Reach out to them regularly and share your feelings and experiences. They can offer you validation, comfort, advice, or help you if you need it. Number 4, take care of yourself. Narcissists often drain their partners of their energy, time, and resources, leaving them feeling depleted and stressed. You need to prioritize your own well-being and happiness by engaging in activities that nourish your body, mind, and soul. This may include eating well, exercising regularly, getting enough sleep, meditating, pursuing your hobbies or interests, or spending time with positive people. Taking care of yourself can help you cope better with the challenges of being in a relationship with a narcissist and boost your self-confidence and self-love. And number 5, evaluate your relationship and make a decision. After taking these steps, you may have a clearer picture of what your relationship with a narcissist is like and how it affects you. You may also have a better idea of what you want and deserve from a relationship. You need to ask yourself some honest questions. Are you happy in this relationship? Is your partner willing to change or seek help? Can you trust them? Do they respect you? Do they love you? Do you love them? Depending on your answers, you may decide to stay in the relationship and work on it together with your partner, that is, if they are cooperative, or to leave the relationship and move on with your life if they are not. Whatever decision you make sure it is based on your own needs and values, not fear or guilt. Being in a relationship with a narcissist can be difficult and painful, but it does not have to define you or your future. You have the power to choose what is best for you and to create a healthy and fulfilling relationship with yourself and others. In the end, it can be difficult to know if you're a narcissist or not, particularly if you're in a relationship with someone who is, since they will try to convince you that the problem is with you. Understanding what narcissism is and how to spot it in yourself can help you determine if you're a narcissist or not. If you discover you are not the narcissist, it's vital to take the steps outlined here to prevent narcissistic abuse. You deserve to have a happy, fulfilling life, and they can help you achieve that. To find comfort from the emotional toll of narcissistic individuals, click on the link below the video or visit triggerplan.com for a free guide on identifying and managing emotional triggers. Get your complimentary copy now. Thanks for watching.